Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we got a lot to talk about. A lot of changes happened. The stock market went down, but that does not matter because the feds are going to increase the federal funds rate. The economy, ladies and gentlemen, inflation. More importantly, what are you going to do while it's going down? Are you investing or not? You got to ramp it up before it's too late. But do you know history? Do you know 1925, the roaring 20s? Do you know 1930? Do you know the stock market went up just like it has now and then it went down? I'm not saying it's going to repeat itself, but certain things, tariffs was in place and manipulation. The Federal Reserve just became a part of the United States system 10 to 15 years before that. Manipulations galore. And that ultimately led to bad news. Now, you have to prepare yourself for good news or bad news. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight and so much more because the chat room is wide open so you can always talk about any subject matter you would like. And welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information, who don't think they need the information because you know the economy is subtle while you're working 40, 50, 60 hours, 80 hours a week. Some of you have two jobs. And therefore, you can't pay attention to the news. You can't pay attention to investments. You're just going along surviving. And therefore, that is the worst case to be in because while you're working hard, while you're taking care of your children, making that breakfast and lunch dinners, doing all these extracurricular activities, because that's part of life. Soccer practices, cheerleading practices, basketball practice, football, all of that. You don't have time to pay attention to information that's regarding your pocketbooks. You don't realize that inflation was checked in at 3.8% for the month of April, year over year, on top of the last 2, 3 years that it has increased. So, really, it's not 3.8% when you start combining. Did you get a 10% raise? Just asking for the last 3 years at least combined. Otherwise, you're treading water. So, therefore, you have to worry about the economy. And also, you should worry because at the end of this year, there's going to be voting. And I'll be damned if a president says the war is more important than people in America. I don't care about our financial situation. I'm like, holy smokes, this guy really didn't say this, did he? This right here is a signal that you should start paying attention. The wealthy sure damn don't give a care about you. So you need to start making sure you care and throwing money away like it's thin air, like it's water. You should stop doing that is my advice. I would tell you the economy is going to get worse. Why do I say that? Markers. 5.1% is the 30-year yield that we have to pay, the taxpayer has to pay for all this printing of money that they're going to do. When somebody says, oh, yes, I want a 30-year yield and I want 5.1%, can you imagine borrowing $1 trillion? That's a lot of money. We just added a few more trillion, and we're about to add another trillion next year too. So therefore, and the next 5 years, it's going to be trillions added. 5.1% taxpayers is what you're going to have to come up with. So even though it may not affect you right now, it's going to affect you down the road. So inflation, everything goes up that's worth anything. Keep that in mind. Inflation can outpace where you live. So home prices can only go up so fast due to inflation. So therefore, that has a finite number. As less and less people have livable wages, less and less people can buy a house going up $3, $4, $5, $600,000, right? It's common sense. So therefore, the economy does matter. When you hear these numbers, 3.8% inflation, the treasury that your grandkids and great grandkids are going to have to pay back this 5.1% for whoever buys bonds and treasuries of the United States to keep them afloat. But here's the other thing. Since you're here, let's get to the other lever. That means they have to print more money. Printing more money increases inflation because you're adding money to the money supply. So now it's a double-edged sword. You're paying for something in the future, tax-wise, and you're paying for something now with higher inflation. The costs rise. What are you going to do? I want to hear from you guys before I start getting into what are you going to do. Let me see who's in the house post-retirement travel. Another investor's here. Mr. Worldwide 2 is here. And he has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. That means he's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, but you can also become a member of the channel, financial support. And let's see what his tagline is. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We frame it for you. You got to get your pen, pads, and papers ready because that means you are going to pay attention. You are students of the game, as we all are. We're always learning. If you stand still, that would be a disaster. You always have to learn, especially paying attention, because this will be maybe your last chance to build wealth before things go off the charts. Remember, if you need help out there, findhelp.org. In America, put in your zip code and you'll see all kinds of nonprofits and sometimes grants are there to help you. So go check that out, findhelp.org. If you have mental health or know someone that does and they need mental help, then 211 on your phone, 211.org online. So those are the first things first. Second thing second, we have Brian P. in the house. Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And since his name is Mr. Dividend, then you know investing is a top priority. That's the only way that you're going to be able to keep afloat in the future. Think about something. If billionaires control 50% of the world's wealth, what do they hold? Businesses, stock market, real estate. Those are the three. You should be joining those party groups right there. Those are the assets, whether it goes up or goes down. Here's the thing. Let's just get straight. If you think real estate may go down, that's fine. It does. Whenever there's a recession or a Great Depression, real estate is like you can pick it up very cheaply. Who's going to have the money to buy when usually in a recession or Great Depression, jobs are lost? So prices continue to fall during those times. So people say, well, now's a good time to buy a house, a liability. But with the resurgence of the economy, that's the Federal Reserve's job, 2, 3, 4 years later, all of a sudden that house that was at rock bottom, the stock market that was at rock bottom, not down to zero, just you know, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year lows or something like that, 5 year lows. You need to buy at those particular times. Remember, a house is a liability till you buy it at the right price as an investment property. You can live in it. But I will say this, if the average price of a home is 430,000 and all of a sudden you can buy one for 285,000, that would be good. Or 210,000, that would be good. Versus the other side of the fence, 429,000, now it's 629,000. Less people can afford it. But nonetheless, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Let me know what you guys think. You're going to have to invest, ladies and gentlemen, which now means you need duffel bags of cash occasionally in case you want to make investments. Post-retirement travel, I hope you packed up the truck today. I loaded up like a child in a candy store. Let's build wealth. I believe we said this on Wednesday. Said it on Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what happens to the stock market for the rest of this year, when it's time to back up the truck like you had losses today, Nvidia went up to their record high at this number this week. It dropped $10 a share today. See, we talked about this for the last 5-6 months. I have videos that says volatility's here. The thumbnail says that. So again, if you are sitting on the sidelines watching the parade go by, clapping as you go on your way to work, these are the opportunities that come along. I'm saying it again. You have time to make a little mini run here for the next 6 months to a year. Well, not that. I think it's going to be a year, quite frankly, but you have time. Did you see what happened on Wednesday? It was huge upside. So now when it comes sliding back a little bit, you start picking up some more of these excellent stocks, ones that you believe in. Think about it. This is what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when there's inflation coming. Now, keep in mind, inflation is one thing. People not having money to buy corporations' goods and services is a total another thing. So, what do we need to do here, ladies and gentlemen? Back up the truck when the stock market goes down. That's one. Pick up real estate when there's an opportunity, which could be coming up here shortly. Sometime in the next 6 months, year and a half, 2 years, whatever, year and a half outside, but 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. This is why you have to stack into assets when the assets are rising. All-time record highs this week in the stock market. Of course, there's going to be a pullback. That's why post-retirement travel is saying he backed up the truck, because he understands this pullback means that gives him another opportunity to buy at another lower entry point, and it's going to go higher. That's what's going to happen. We've been talking about this. All right, Eric, we're at the final lap. I agree with you. Receive closing instructions for Connor Rock is what he's saying. I thought he was talking about the final lap for my SSN Nation lifestyle. But Connor Rock, it looks like we're closing by October this year. October. This is May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 5 months. What do they say? Oh, but you're going over. Are you over there right now? No, you're going over there in a week or so, right? So when you go over there, you'll be able to go look at your unit and see what it's like. I'm hoping that it's maybe close. In fact, I'm hoping it's finished. And I'm hoping some of the other units aren't finished. So therefore, they're saying in 5 months, we're going to have these other units. Because again, taking hold of a place that's still under construction, I'm hoping that's not their case, but that's cool. Oh, here we go. He already says it. We're flying to Punta Cana next Friday. So it is a week from now. Meeting the decorator on Monday. Uh-oh, he's doing it. He's doing the damn thing. And by the way, you're going to have to tell us why you're there. In fact, no, you're going to have to do one better. You're going to have to send me a picture. I want to, or video. I want to see the ocean view from the unit. Hey, let's just get real right now, because this is Stop Struggling Now. You will have a unit at the end of this year, it just in time for prime time December. And renters should know about it. All right. And by the way, I believe you said it was your brother, right? That has a 1 bedroom at Universe. And his was decorated appropriately. And if anybody does short term rentals, you need to appropriately decorate your unit. All right? It's not like you live there. You do not turn it into a place that looks like you live there. You turn it into a place that looks like vacation. All right? Real estate is part of the equation. Commercial real estate means you don't live there, you rent it out. Airbnb was making it commercial for a lot of people. Now it's different, but it still works. Short-term rentals still work. So keep that in mind. That's part of staving off inflation. That's part of building wealth, because you don't get to keep money coming in this year. You get money next year and the year after that and the year after that, as long as you own it. And the prices go up due to inflation, due to this dumbassery that's happening right now. $1 trillion for military. 1.5 trillion they're asking for next year. Funding. We don't have the money. That means we have to pay another country when they buy our bonds 5% for 30 years, I believe it's 4.5 for 3 years now. That is on you and your grandchildren and great 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 grandchildren. They can never pay it back. And neither can the US. So that means you're like the Roman Empire. You're going to fall. It just depends on what's happening right now. If there's another war scenario, this is what happened with the Roman Empire. They extended their empire so far, just like all empires, and then they cannot maintain it because it cost a lot of money. And then when you take the money and say, you know what, it needs to go to our battles instead of helping our citizenry, the citizenry wake up one day and say, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm leaving. Okay? Just keep this in mind. Very happy to hear this, man. Very happy to hear, because it's been a long journey, right? That's been a long journey, man. So hopefully it comes happen. In fact, I would not be unhappy if things didn't happen until October's about right, I guess. I shouldn't say that. It's just that October's the low season, right? So that'll get your feet wet, I guess, early. You'll get some reviews if somebody wants to stay there. And hopefully everything will go well. 2 bedroom at the Hard Rock. Well, again, I shouldn't even say Hard Rock. It's by the Hard Rock. You cannot use the Hard Rock except for their free stuff that everybody can use while you're staying there. But at least you're by the beach, you're by the Hard Rock, and they think they still have the $35 per person if you go out to the beach through the beach club. So those are the type of things that's going to be very, very interesting about getting that rent. I don't want to get into it tonight. You know how I love to go look up Airbnb to see how much they're charging right now for the 2 bedrooms out there in Conorock, in near the front, because there is a difference, obviously. If you have ocean view, that's primo stuff. Got to have ocean view amongst a sea of other rentals. That helps out greatly. And especially when you're right across from Hard Rock entrance area. So some people would say, I'm going to the nightclub. Great. You get in free. You get to go through Hard Rock for free. You say, I'm going to one of the restaurants there or the casino. Okay, you can go there. No problem. So it's going to be very interesting being that close. And then you have something to tout to people that right across the walkway, you can go to this spot. That's pretty good, especially when there's concerts too. They do have concerts there still. All right. So we have the economy, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to be worried about only from the standpoint of looking at it. You need to make plans. You have to sit there and say, hey, what happens if the economy does go down? What if I lose my job? Do I have another skill set? You better think about it. There better be another skill set, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at decoration magazines now. Any recommendations? We love this stage of the game. Looking for tropical modernism style? I'll send you pictures. Um, I don't. I'm not. I'll just tell you right now. I'll tell you right now in a second. There's something I don't like, but we'll get into it. Businesses in the house. The Seamless Genius is here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Another investor in the house. She says, "Hey, boss, and SSN fam," as the tagline. Hello. Happy Friday. That's right. It's a happy Friday here, ladies and gentlemen. This is sweet. Business in the house. Like I said, notice the Seamless Genius moniker. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman right here comes up with some incredible business opportunities and thinking. So you never know what she may say. So you want to stay tuned. All right, back to I have plenty of recommendations. The recommendation is very simple. You have an advantage. You saw what your brother did. You own it Margaritaville. So you know what they do, or you know what your unit is like. That is the blueprints. You make your unit look spectacular, not crowded. My thing is, I don't like seeing fake plants or any plants. When you say tropical, I think plants. I don't want to see none of that in the place. Now, if you want to put on some nice paintings on the wall that should actually say, when you're looking at it, I want to go to the beach, I want to go eat, I want to go have fun type of pictures, that's what you should have. Some pictures of what people would deem what's Dominican Republic, right? So you would put that out there. You would have a picture of the beach, obviously, a nice picture of a beach. In every room, you got to have a picture. That's standard. You need stuff on the walls to make it look filled out. No clutter on any counter. People are coming for vacation. They want to put cell phones down, purses down. You put all these little tchotchkes there. That's annoying. Don't do that. You want it to look clean, open, airy. I'm on vacation. That's what you want. And it doesn't help if you have great looking furniture, not some plastic chairs. Not you're going to do this. No plastic chairs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. You have to get real chairs, real sofas, real dining tables. Don't cheap out. You want to get top dollar? Then you make it look like top dollar. So you may say, "Hey, Eric, I don't think it's necessary. All of us have the same size unit. I'll just get any only furniture. It's fine." Okay, listen. You can do that. It all depends on what is going on with the rental. If this is a managed rental, then it may be different than you being an individual renter. Because if it's managed and it's managed by the property, then that means they usually want everybody to have a furniture package. And that means you're all equal. But if you're not going to have furniture packages and you can rent it yourself, then that's going to matter. Because now when people go see your photos and they go to Airbnb, this is what generally happens. Up and down the scale. Somebody looks at a place. The place is, I'll use a number, it's just random number. It's $150 per night. Let's just say it's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath condo. And it looks regular. Nothing special, not necessarily fixed up nice. And they have golf course view. Fine. Some people like, greenery views. But now you have somebody like, let's use post-retirement travel. He says, I went down to get an interior decorator. So the interior decorator makes his place look spectacular. But he doesn't charge $150. He charges $225. But now you look at his place, you look at Ocean View, all of a sudden the person starts calculating. They go, okay, do I want to stay at this spot that looks like this and pay 150, or do I want the ocean view and look stay at this place right here? It's $75 per night extra. Some people are going to pay the $75 per night extra. A lot of people are going to pay $75 per night extra because it has ocean view and it looks nice in the pictures. And then there's great reviews. Those are the things that matter. And again, I will say it again, recommendations. Yes, I agree with the modern part. I don't agree with plants hanging. I don't agree with plants in the corners, plastic or otherwise, collecting dust, because you have to maintain all this stuff. Even though you're going to say we have housekeeping, that's nice. But housekeepers, you never know if they're actually going to be dusting every time somebody leaves. And that's where the problem comes in when you start putting things that can collect dust and do all that. You're wasting time. Your staff is wasting time. So that's why you should have things that are just makes your place look like it's vacation. And everybody should know what it looks like because you all go on vacation. So it makes it kind of simple when you go, oh, I stayed in this horrible place, versus you have nothing bad to say about another place you stay in. And there's generally, the rule is still the same. The place that you're not going to have any problem with is the place is clean and immaculate. The places, they left you a gift basket or something, a bottle of wine, whatever. They left you something and all the furniture is cool, no problems. Food, there might even be some drink, water in the fridge, whatever. There's something about hospitality no matter how you do it. So therefore, again, people bring in their luggage. What do you have for them when they bring their luggage in? Nothing? Or do you have some place in the closet that they can bust out and put their luggage on so they don't always have to go to the floor to get their stuff? Or does your closet have a shelf in there where they can put their luggage on? All these things matter. Do you have a safe? These things matter. Just saying. All this stuff matters. You may not think so, but if you want to get top dollar, it does. And I want top dollar. If you're going to rent somewhere, you want top dollar. You don't want to charge somebody $150 for a 2-bedroom when you can get $250. You're leaving money on the table. Just because you cheaped out and decided, nah, I don't need $10,000 worth of $10,000 to $15,000 worth of furniture. No. I'm going to go down to IKEA and put everything in for 5Gs. All that stuff comes to haunt you because that IKEA stuff, 5Gs, you're going to be replacing it within a year if you have any type of occupancy rate of 40% or more. That's why the quality of the furniture matters as well. So again, those are my little staples of when somebody comes. You need in a smaller space, which condos are usually a smaller space. You always need some sort of mirrors, a mirror somewhere, living rooms, things like that. So it gives you more of something. It's like more volume of space, it appears, and also helps if your ceilings are 10 feet high. I'm just saying, or 8 feet high. I mean, not 8 feet high, but 9.5, 9 feet, 10 feet high. That helps too. Gives you a little more volume when people walk in. They're like, oh, this is cool. Just saying. That's what you want. You want, oh, this is cool. All right. Just remember that. Oh, yes. Traveling boss. I'm going to Ireland next month. Oh, I love to hear this. Are you looking for a new place to live? No, I'm just saying. Hey, you know I'm all about outside of the United States. That's right. So you have opportunities and lifetimes outside the US. So I'm very, very happy to hear this. Ireland. Okay, well, do the damn thing, Biznessa. Thank you. My wife and I are very excited. The decoration style is a little overwhelming. We have an idea, but we'll unleash the decoration lady to do her magic. If it's the same lady that did your brother's place, then I would see what she has to say, quite frankly. She has a flair, a very, very good flair. Got to give her credit. Because oof, it's off. It's awesome. One of these days, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna have to come back. Maybe on Monday. In fact, I might even have the video because since Brian P is here, you know we're gonna talk some food safety, popcorn. By the way, why don't I just start it off because we talked about this the other day. Oh man, I forgot all about somebody else. CDJ8118. I see you on the other platform. Thank you so much for being in the house. How could I omit that? I'm very, very sorry. So, first off, findhelp.org. That's the first thing. Second thing, we got food safety situations, recalls. Ladies and gentlemen, are you paying attention? It's very, very bad out here. Check this out. Okay, here you go. This is what you need to pay attention to. Popcorn of all things. Who knew? Right? Who knew? That's insane. Let's go see what else. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so I'm not logged in, but I'm about to get to it, Brian P. All right. So when we talk about the economy, we talk about inflation, we got to talk about the wealth as well. You have to continue to build wealth. The cost of living is going to rise no matter which era you live in, what decade you live in. The price is now to every, well, more than 10 years. But if you took a 10-year marker and said, I paid for this, and then waited 10 years later and see how much it cost you, it's going to be more, generally more than 100%. And during those 10 years, you did not get a 10% raise each of those years. So the only way you get a 10% raise each of those years is if you have assets that you can charge. And therefore, you stay on today's money, not yesterday's money. You have today's money coming in. And that's what we always say. Yesterday's price is not today's price because of inflation. All right? So let's get down to the other factor before I get a little deeper into this, because it's pretty simple. Economy, inflation, you have to invest. Ramp it up before it's too late. Even when things don't look appealing, when there's blood in the streets, after there's a increase and then a decrease, there's going to be a decrease again because the Federal Reserve will raise the rates, I believe. They can't live with 3.8. Do you guys understand? The reason they can't live with it is because they have to pay a higher interest rate to get a loan. See, they love their little 1.5, 2.5% loans, interest only. But now when you start getting into threes, 3.5, 3.8, and it's actually higher because we already know this administration lies. So the point is, it's probably really 4 point something. In fact, I need to check something real quick because the PPI could be up. And now here we go again. I'm going to go look for the PPI, but this is crazy. We have mushrooms recalled now. Just when it was safe to eat mushrooms, now all of a sudden we have listeria contamination. Welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen. May 2026. Jeez, 2 Anaki mushroom brands are being recalled due to potential listeria contamination. I wish they would lead with the name of the companies. The mushrooms being recalled were sold in 150-gram bags and had product samples test positive for listeria. The products include IQ Enoki mushrooms with code UI775. Jesus, so it's the Enoki brand. The latter brand was sold at local wholesalers in Florida and Texas. HH Fresh Trading Enoki Mushrooms is also the other company. HH Fresh Trading. This is terrible, ladies and gentlemen. This is really, really terrible. But as you know, I got to give you guys some love. You got to go check it out yourself. I'm not going to read all of this because there's going to be a bunch. This is a PSA. So just remember all these food safeties, all of this stuff. So while you're doing that, we have something else to talk about, though, that I was getting ready to get into. But I have lost my train of thought. So what I'm going to get into next then is the ultimate thing that you can learn. Trading, stock market trading. It's very, very hard. But you don't have to do stock market trading. You can actually buy and sell stocks or just buy stocks and hold. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm giving you a broker if you decided to start doing stock market trading. Now, I'm not going to leave you defenseless in case you're like me who knew nothing about trading. So, what did I do? I did candlestick trading. I did the candlestick trading Bible. I studied. I studied YouTubes. I start studying different ways that people make investments. It's a beautiful thing when you start paying attention. People trade differently. Now, keep in mind, this is not for the faint at heart. All this is for is when you have days like today, you could have made money going down. And earlier this week, you could have made money going up. So, all I advise, learn. I'm not saying get in because 90 to 95% of people take L's when they are doing stock trading. This is why all the stock trading gurus, quote unquote, always have courses to sell because it's very hard out here to use your own money. All right? So just keep all of that in mind. But there's the Candlestick Trading Bible. There's CoinEx. CoinEx, actually, it's a referral code. Yes. You refer other people, fine. The thing about CoinEx, different than other brokers, is they're outside the United States. I do not want the United States holding any of my money. They are broke and they're acting like drunken sailors. And they're out here bombing places, costing $1 million a launch for rockets. Who's paying for it? Us. That means sooner or later, us can't pay for it. But they're frittering it away because we have no infrastructure happening. We have no light rail or mass transit happening. We have no new manufacturing of any significance happening. We're losing manufacturing. So therefore, this all comes to an end when the government cannot get any more money. They're squeezing the turnips as we speak. That's you, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. This is not good. Here we go. Maybe a second home. My honeymoon. My honey man has family there, but I'm excited. I heard it's beautiful. Yeah, I've seen pictures of Ireland. I've never been there myself. It looks spectacular. Actually, there's places in Australia that looks kind of like the way they have these cliffs and the way they have the grassy areas. It looks beautiful in pictures. But I agree with you. So have a great time. Should be awesome over there. Bring a jacket. Oh, a blast from the past. Another investor's been doing big things, I'm sure, since I've seen him last on the scene. Joshua Felder's here. Investors in the house, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And what's going on, Eric? You know, man, we're about to make the world change a little bit. Some industries that I'm about to disrupt, I believe. We're going to find out, but I'm going to go for it. It's going to be spectacular. I haven't let the cat out the bag yet. I've been dropping some hints. But nonetheless, how have you been, man? Hopefully you've been making those things. Everything that you were doing has come to fruition and you've been doing it successfully, hopefully. So let us know how things have been going, man. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to see you once again, and I appreciate your support. So next week, I'm going to start letting more of the cat out of the bag. My mortgage went up $800 per month because of taxes. Exactly. Luckily, I'm renting my property. See, this is it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Joshua Felder, for mentioning this, because if you guys don't get your investment game down pat, you're running out of time. This right here is a perfect example of what's going to continue to happen, whether you own any real estate, any property, anything, because taxes are going to go up and your insurance is going to go up. You guys have to understand, when it comes to insurance, you're insuring something that increases in value. That means in order to insure a property or anything that goes up in value, and as it rises, that means generally you're going to pay more in insurance as well. So that's another reason why you have to determine what you're going to do with living at a house. He mentions it right here. Luckily, I'm renting my property. that means you know who's going to bear the cost. So he's going to break it down 800 over 12 months is 80, what is that? $70 more. So, hey, I got to raise the rent 80 bucks, 90 bucks, whatever the case may be per month. It's not unreasonable. But the point is, that's what's going to happen. Some people would say, well, Eric, I like the Joshua Felder program. That means you have to own the property. That's your liability. That means you have to find a renter. If you want to try to make some money or pay, have somebody else try to pay for it, that's what we're doing out here. Very well, man. I'm very happy to hear this. In fact, is this a property that you were trying to buy like 2 years ago or so? Is this the one or is this something different? All right, Vanessa, yes, sir. His fam told us to bring jackets. Exactly. Bring jackets. Know where you are. Know where you are. Even though it's going to be summertime, it doesn't seem like summertime to me. Especially SoCal girl. Come on. SoCal girl going somewhere where it's like 50 degrees, 45 degrees. Nah, bring jackets. And if you're in a certain situation where there's a mountain, maybe a plateau or mountain, and you're not on that sunny side, yeah, you might want to have a jacket. And not only a jacket, let's call it a coat. All right, it went 1,600 per month to 2,465 per month. Exactly, Joshua Felder. Ladies and gentlemen, just what I was talking about before. Yesterday's price is not tomorrow's price. He, renting it out, gets to go with inflation. This is exactly how a business operates. You get an advantage. You get to go with, if he started out with 1,600 per month and he can charge us 24, or he's saying the mortgage is 24. But the point I'm trying to make is he gets to still charge today's prices, even though he bought it whenever. Could have been 2 years, 1 year ago. But the fact of the matter is, his renters or whoever rents from him is going to have to bear that cost. Unless he's not going to take an L, right? You're not going to say, I'm going to be upside down, negative $300-400 a month. That would be crazy. That'd be real crazy. Sell the property if that's the case. You can't go with L's. But the point is, I don't know how much you can charge. If you're already at 2,465, that means a person has to make like 8 G's a month with no debt generally to live there. They have to make $100,000, 6 figures. That's why home prices start going down. Yes, that's the same one I was trying to buy. Ah, you thought I forgot. See? 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 I didn't forget, man. I didn't forget. I don't forget business activities. Just saying. Thanks, man. I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you as well, man, because I know you were working on it, and I'm happy to hear that it happened. Actually, I'm right where you're at, man. Just letting you know where your property is, if I remember right. So, anyhow, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. You made it happen, and that also means you got it at a lower price. And all I know is it seems like if the property is like 2,000 square feet, 2,500 square feet, people are paying like $2,500 a month. It's crazy or more, especially if it's where I think it is. So, congratulations. At least you have somebody else paying. You have it locked in. The only problem is the inflation going to outpace everything? Property taxes go up, insurance goes up. Is it going to outpace what you can rent it for? That's where this goes. So the economy is going to matter. The feds are going to increase the Federal Reserve rate, which I don't know what this, the 3 year, the 1 year bond rate is 4.5. That increased as well. That means in order for the United States to get more money, to be able to print more money, that means they have to give off a higher interest rate. That's literally what this means. That's a detriment to the government. That's a detriment to all of us. So just keep all of that in mind. All right. So did we get the Candlestick Trading Bible out? Yes, we did. Did we get the CoinX out? Yes, we did. So make sure you guys learn how to trade. You don't have to start, just learn. So at least you put another tool in your toolbox. because in case things go wrong. Now remember, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So what do? You got to do the SSN Nation program. Here it is. We started this 2 years, 7 months ago. We had a countdown, and it's still counting down. You have 7 months left. 775 credit score. Credit will be a premium. They're only going to give this premium credit 0% for 36 months is what I'm waiting for. You need to bounce on that. Get on it when you see it immediately. It will be a limited time. Those of you who are lucky enough to get in on it, remember, I warned you. You have AI? Get it. Tell AI to warn you. If you see anything around the United States, anywhere where you can get a credit card for 0% for 36 months, I want to hear about it. That's what you need to do. You need your 775 first. Then you need a bank account outside of U.S. jurisdiction. So what do I say? Why do I say U.S. jurisdiction? It can't be Puerto Rico. Can't be American Samoa. It can't be the U.S. Virgin Islands. It has to be an actual different country that you need a passport. Actually, you might need a passport in the USA. But the point is, it cannot be USA jurisdiction at all. Can't be some sort of territory. Can't be some nothing like that. It has to be an actual different country. And last but not least, you're going to need a business or real estate in another country. Those were the tenets. Why? Because that gives you flexibility. Flexibility such as there's an Alabama legislator who's happy about being able that the Supreme Court got rid of the Voting Rights Act. So therefore they can gerrymander in Alabama. As he's explaining, he's exuberant that he can put black, brown, and minorities into another district to dilute their votes and not have representation. He said out loud, now, if only the Supreme Court can get rid of the 14th Amendment. And in case you're new here and you haven't read your Constitution, the 14th Amendment literally is basically, if you're black, you're not going to be considered a citizen of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, it's weird. Weird how we talked about doing this. Weird how it comes up. Weird how it's going. Some of us are already prepared. Some of you better get prepared. Just saying. That's the reason. It's funny how 2 years, 7 months ago, we started talking about a countdown. There's a countdown on several fronts. And the fronts that we were talking about, the things we were talking about doing, some people already set up. And post-retirement travel already talked about, he's got a property that's going to be delivered in October in Dominican Republic, just in case anybody's wondering. Just saying. So he already has his criteria set. Plus other real estate properties and other business ideas going down. So that's what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be prepared. Don't let anybody mess around with you. All right, let's go. Here we go. Beautiful. I got it at 3.125% interest rate in 2020. He wins, ladies and gentlemen. He's a winner. He's a winner. Okay, the first part's the first part. So he can't sell the property because he's got a 3.1% loan. Time has went by then because I thought it was only 2 years ago, but now I see it's been a while because we went through COVID. Yeah, it has been a while because come to think of it, I've been over here like 7, 8 months, 9 months, 8 months, 9 months. Jeez, I just realized I haven't even been anywhere near the home front in 9 months. That's funny. Oh well, still in the home front here. Got home fronts everywhere, but it's all good. Jeez, I can't. No, it can't be. Oh my God, it's been, yeah, it's been since it's been 7 months. 7 months. Man, man, wow. Okay, Joshua Felder, thank you. And 5 years goes by fast. That's how I've been on here longer than 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Felder is one of the OGs of the SSN Nation, an investor. He's doing things. Very happy to see that. Joshua Felder, over 800 per month. When did you get this property? It appears your first year's property value was based on half the year or a huge increase in property value in that area. Yeah, if it's where I think it is, I'm where he bought the property. This is true. The property values, what, 20%? Remember in 2020, the property values went up 20%. Then in 2021, went up another 20%. And then meandering about since then, another 10%. So his house went up another 50% in value or more because home prices still, for whatever reason, hasn't come down until the Federal Reserve starts increasing the interest rate because at 3.8% inflation, I know where I was going. I was going to go check out the PSI, PPI inflation number. Hold on. Numbers for, is it April? Let's go April 2026. Let's see what they say. Let's see what they say. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 6% for the 12 months in. Oh, the Federal Reserve definitely increasing rates. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, PPI index for final demand jumped 6% for the 12 months ending in April 2026. 6% from 2025 April to 2026 April. Oh my, that's called the Producers Price Index, just in case everybody's wondering. Prices for the final demands increased 2%. Wow. While services increased 1.2, 6% year over year rise is the largest advance since December 2022 in the height of the pandemic, and we are not in a pandemic. That is a problem. And they increased the Federal Reserve rate, the federal funds rate in 2022, right? Like I told you guys before when it was 2.9. I said the last time the Federal Reserve, when it's 2.7, 2.9, what did they do? They increased the federal funds rate. Funny that they let it slide to 3.4, did nothing. Now it slides to 3.8. They better not do nothing again because then we will be doing the salsa dance in about 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, because you're going to have your duffel bag of cash ready, right? You're going to make these investments right now. So no matter what happens, whether hell or high water happens, you're going to be still making money, right? You're still going to be in the stock market, right? Because the stock market's not going to go away and you're going to have a way to make extra streams of revenue. That's why you have to learn new skills sometimes. New skills of the day, candlestick trading, artificial intelligence, how to use AI to make money. You can have a dummy, and I don't mean a dummy, I should use the word avatar, make money for you while you're sleeping. There's Paramount ads, there's Google ads, there's Facebook ads. You can post little ads that cost you nothing but $10, $20, $30, can reach thousands of people for products and services that you can sell. Act like the big boys. All right? Act like the big boys. That's what we try to get you to do here. You're a superstar. Why are you sitting around waiting for bad things to happen? All right. It looks like I talked some smack. It looks like we're all good. I'm not getting blasted off from Instagram these days. I know why, though. I know why we got blasted off last time. But it is what it is. All right. Joshua Felder at Post Retirement Travel. It was because of property taxes, because it's not a homestead anymore. That's true. Okay, my property went up to 195K, but if it gets a little higher, I will sell soon. Already have a buyer in place. Hey, you might want to, if that's going to be the case, Because if the Federal Reserve increases the interest rate, that means the borrowing rate's going to be higher. So if you have that nice profit that you like and you want to take the profit and run, now's the time to hit that eject button, in my opinion. Go do your own due diligence and go study, but that would be my opinion. Because it's coming. And actually, everything's coming. The snowball is starting to roll downhill. Like at 3.8, it's right on schedule. It's right on schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect schedule. Because we have 7 months to go. You have another two. Every monthly report's going to talk about the year-over-year inflation. We already know it's 3.8 for April. It's probably going to be the same. Actually, we know it's more, but whatever. It's going to be either equal to or more. I predicted 3.3. I figured they were going to lie, but they lied about it, 3.8. So that means it's probably, who freaking knows, 7 or 8%. In my opinion, I always say double digits. 10 is probably what it really is because they omit certain things. So you got to remember that as well. All right. Best time to become your own bank. That's true too. Best time is, it's hard to time things, right? So the best time to do anything is when you can say, well, if I cash this out, which is this asset, should I keep it? If you keep it, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know your property taxes are going to cost more next year. You know your insurance is going to cost more next year. So the question then goes, what should I do with the profits that I received? Is it really worth the headache? That's ultimately what ends up happening. Is it worth the headache? Should I keep it regardless for the long run? And right now I'm questioning whether I should keep property for the long run. Because when you start paying this 1.6, 1.8%, the value of homes, these are unrealized capital gains that you're paying for. So you understand, unrealized is the things that, I'll have to do it this way. When a billionaire has stock and the stock goes up, do they pay any more in taxes? No. Right? Nor do you. If you own stock, you only pay when you sell the stock, right? Houses are unrealized. I'm not selling my house, but I got to pay higher taxes because they're valuing my house at a higher price than the previous year. Unrealized. So now you understand why some people like myself say, how do you give tax cut, tax breaks to the wealthy when they already have a huge tax advantage by not having to pay taxes on unrealized capital gains or unrealized value? It's not even capital gains, it's unrealized value. They're just saying, hey, you're going to pay 1.5, 1.3, 1.72% of the value of the house because the home prices went up. I'm like, of course the home prices go up around the neighborhood. That doesn't mean my house should. I bought my house at 150. I don't really care if the house costs 600. But now you're making me pay the value of 600 less about 20 or 30% of the value of that. And then you're saying, oh yeah, give us 1.7%. I'm like, how is it? Just give me I'll give you 1.7% of what I bought the house for. How about that? That's not the way it works in America. So you have to understand where you live, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. Losing homestead. So does that mean the property isn't your primary residence anymore? Correct? That's correct. I thought you were living there and renting half of it. Okay, let's go. Let's see. He's going to clarify. Let me rephrase what I said about the property. Bought it at $215. Now it's $395. Okay. $215. Let me see if that comes out about right. 20% is 40. That's $290. Let's call it $300. 20% of that is $360, $350. That's about right. That's what happened up until 2022. And then it jumped up a little higher. And then it probably is either at 395 because it might have been at 420, 430, but now that people are, it's still too high for mortgage rates. So some homes have started to slide back. So, but that's about right, 395. So the question is, are you going to take the 140 or sorry, 170, 180 and invest somewhere else? Or actually, since you had to put down money, obviously it's less than you're let's just say 200,000 and invest it in something that's going to earn you money. That's easier earned, even though it might be a less of a yield. Are you going to put it somewhere like, I mean, I hate to say treasuries, but that's 4%, but nonetheless, that's 8 G's a year, $700 a month, roughly. Not bad. But what are you going to do? That's the multi-million dollar question for everybody, not just him. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to, it's just a rhetorical question. What would somebody do if you have real estate that went up and potentially you could pocket 170,000, 180,000 just from a 5-year window, which is a great investment. 5 years, 185 from a return of, you didn't put down the full 215. You probably put down 20 G's and probably have paid into it right now 40 G's, 50 G's. Okay, so not bad. Eric, are they doing that in California now, paying taxes for unrealized gain? Yeah, you do it in everywhere. Everywhere. Remember how your property taxes are calculated. It doesn't stay fixed. It goes by the value of your property, which means the people that are buying to, okay, like Joshua Felder, he bought his house for 215. Over this time, your property value when you first got it was priced at 215 less whatever 20 or 30%, right? And then they take 1.3, it depends on where you live, 1.3 to 2% is what you pay in taxes. Then next year, they come back and they say, "Oh, look, the average price in your neighborhood is not 215. It went up 20%. So it's 240." Then we take off 20, 30%, and then you pay your 1.3 to 2%, whatever state you live in. And now you get a higher bill. That's how it works. That's unrealized gain. You didn't do anything. I mean, that's how it works. Everybody's doing that. Every state charges property taxes. Now, there are some, like Florida has the homestead, right? There's some states that have this homestead thing. So we will see. But yeah, that's how California works. That's how Georgia works. That's how every state works as far as I know. I didn't realize there was a state that did, other than if you had a homestead, that might make a difference. Here we go. Cash out and invest in a business. There we go. That right there is where you generally go when you have that type of money. When I used to have a chart on here, just so everybody understands. This economy and inflation means you need to know this chart. When a person starts out, their home is the most valuable thing. But as you build your wealth, you know what starts happening? The people start buying certain things. They start buying and operating businesses because business is today's price, not yesterday's price. And if your business is successful, then you always get to charge more because of inflation. It costs more. So you always get to stay with the profit. So they start buying businesses. And then, of course, you know what the other one is: equities, stocks, ETFs. That's the top two things when you look at people whose wealth scale starts jumping. 1 million, house, cars, whatever, little stuff, 1 million, 10 million. All of a sudden, there starts to be a shift. The house has anything to do with putting in the wealth. Like right now, he bought the house for 215, it's worth 395. So people say, okay, wealth wise, on paper, he has like 180K positive, right? These guys go F the house. I'll lease a house. I'll rent a house. Who cares about the house? because I'm making all this money in business and I'm making all the upside on the stock market because it's breaking records under every president because that's what the Federal Reserve is designed for. Always going up. So therefore, they put their money into equities and businesses. That's why the wealthiest people on the planet, notice, they have businesses and they own stocks and their companies have stocks. The trifecta. Why do you need to mess with the program? If you know that's the program, that's what you do. Seeing that I'm a black guy, I'm just going to tell you guys the simple facts. Businesses go up with inflation, especially service-based businesses. Exactly. Biznessa knows best. She's Biznessa, the seamless genius for a reason. That's why she's successful, because that's exactly the gig. That's why you always need a business. Even if it may not be that successful, you have to keep plugging away oftentimes. But a little success is still success. And if you can get into something and you have a long staying power, then hey, congratulations. Because you'll have a long, nice runway. And you have to invest in equities. Do what the big boys do. Don't sit here playing dumb. Here's what I used to tell everybody. Black, white, in between. They would say, Eric, how do you get into all these different businesses? I said, listen, I told you guys this story before. I go to see what all the white guys are doing. Then I'm joining. If they're in the car business, I'm in the car business. If they're in the travel business back in the day, I'm in the travel business. If they're in the real estate game, I'm in the real estate game. Same thing. If they're in music and entertainment, I can't be in music and entertainment because these guys jack people. So I can't do that. Until now. I'm giving you guys a preview of what's to come. Why? Because ownership is the key. I don't want them guys getting pennies of nothing so they can be like DR, because I don't want to hear that you owe me hundreds of thousands of dollars, because I'll come hunt your ass down. All right? You can owe me 20, you can owe me 50, it ain't worth it. But you better not be owing me 4 or 5, because I'm coming to get your ass. All right? So that's why I could never do that. Not the white guys. Oh, Biznessa. That's the way it is. Listen, let's just get things straight right now. Get things straight. Okay, for instance, I'll even have to illustrate right now. Perfect example. When you guys think of the Magnificent Seven in the stock market, the most valuable corporations of all time, 6 of the 7, who owns them? The top 20 wealthiest men on the planet. You want luxury items? LVMH. You want to sell luxury items? Obviously, let's go. I want in. So stop struggling now. No fear. No excuses, ladies and gentlemen. So when you guys want clothes? So what happened with me? Luxury items. No worries. I shouldn't do this, but it's kind of prejudice. But nonetheless, Kim Luck Chum, I need you to start designing some stuff. This is what I did back in the day. Hey, man, you got to design some stuff for me. We're going to be in the clothing fashion industry, and you're going to be making my stuff. Kim Luck Chum's going, right on. I want in. Okay, so I want in the TV and music business too. But again, you know who controls the TV and music business, right? Just saying. So that means they always can move keys around, close doors, gatekeep. So I said, I want in. Well, I figured a way that I'm going to be in. They can't do jack crap about it. I'm going to be controlling some intellectual properties. I'm going to be controlling masters. I'm going to be controlling all kind of stuff. And all they can do is sit there and be like, I'll be damned. Who let this kid out again? He's hurting us. And he's helping people to boot. We can't have this. Now they're finding out that they can go around us, under us, over us. They don't need us. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Education is the key. Here we go. Let's go. My honey, aka White Guy, says learns a lot from me. We're a good team. Oh, come on now, Biznessa. I didn't say we had to learn from the white guys now. Don't get me twisted. I'm not saying they the smartest tools in the tool shed. I'm just saying when white people own 84% of the wealth in America, they can be dumbasses. They have the wealth. And when black people only have 4.5 to 5% of that wealth, obviously you're at a huge disadvantage. So no, I'm not talking about intellectual wise. There's always smart people of any colors. So the point is, the white guys generally have all the wealth and they go with these corporations that make money. If I had a chip manufacturing facility, which I don't, that would be nice. I mean, come on. But the point is, wherever those guys congregate, I want in. So, Biznessa, since you've been gone and weren't here, you're right. Boss, bust those walls down, bro. Exactly. Here's what happened, Biznessa. Since I'm in Las Vegas at the moment, I said, you know what? Let me go see what's happening around town because they always have these conventions. Next thing I know, I see something that I've been wanting to do in my brain, and I'm like, I wanted to do a live music TV show, competition show, unlike any other. So I'm rumbling around. I have formulated plans. I write down stuff because if you're going to do some business, you should write it down. Make sure you have an ecosystem is what I call it. Making sure I have a beginning, the middle, and the end. And the beginning and the middle and the end is about generation of funds. And I don't want to go one. I want two. I want three. I want more than 5 times that I can make money at each beginning, middle, and end. So that's an ecosystem. And wash, rinse, and repeat. So that's what I'm thinking. So I go looking through the paper and I see NAB convention coming up. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that the National Association of Broadcasters? Isn't that the guys that sell software, the TV stations and the hardware and all this stuff? I'm like, I'll be damned. Adobe's going to be there. Okay, that's the spot I need to go see right now. So I'm just walking around, checking out the latest stuff in AI. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. This is cool. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden I see this company that I have to let the cat out the bag. I see this company talking about swiping on a screen. They have the touch screen. And I'm like, that looks like Netflix. I come in, I see AWS. AWS is selling like their storage facilities. All these dudes are in the same area. They were in the West building this time. And I'm sitting there like, okay, minding my own business. And the next thing you know, I see something saying, you want to have your own TV, Netflix-like channel. I'm like, this better not be. They will better not let me in. No, 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 no. So now I go and I go talk to these guys. And they say, yes, Eric, we will build it for you. We will do this for you. And you got to pay us tens of thousands of dollars. I was like, let me get this straight. So you're saying I'm going to have an app on TV, on Vizio, Samsung, all this stuff, Apple Play Store, Google Play Store, all this stuff. And you're going to make it for me. It's going to be mine. I have source codes. But then they said crazy words after that. We're going to host it. You got to pay us X amount of dollars. I was like, hold on. Slow up. Slow your roll at this point. But I said, let's get down to the basics. I want to do a live music show. So that means I can do that. Plus I can do pay-per-view. Plus I can do any damn thing that I want. Yes, Eric. Wait, this is going to be broadcast. It's going to be in an app and it's going to be on TVs. Yes, Eric. Dude, you have my attention. I said, you better not let me in. You better not let me in. And that means I control all of the IP intellectual properties. That's right, Eric. You have just messed up. Are you kidding me? I can spend a few G's and get in? Well, if you call tens of thousands of dollars, 10,000, 20,000, a few G's, okay. They go, yes, Eric. I said, you guys done just messed up. You just messed up. They're like, what do you mean? You're going to get this from us. Well, yeah, as of right now, I am. I am. I've seen when people are stressed, they love to travel more. That's exactly right. Exactly. I don't get it. Prices are high, but thousands keep traveling to Orlando. Exactly. I've been trying to use my own rental home for months and tourists don't let me. What a shame. Hey, you know what? Actually, there's a reason. He's in Orlando. Orlando is a tried and true place, just like Las Vegas is a tried and true place where people are going to travel to Las Vegas and Orlando, and they're going to travel to Southern California. That's just the way it is. And New York. There's certain areas that people are coming, no matter what the economy is. And Orlando is like, I'd be willing to bet you it's probably number one or number two. If it's not number one, it's got to be two. And if it's not number one, then that means Vegas is number one. But Vegas has a downturn in the last 2 years. So it's got to be Orlando, must be number one. I mean, it's built for you. The ecosystem's there. Universal, SeaWorld, and Disney parks. You could stay there for a month, quite frankly, if you had that kind of money, and just go hang out and deal with all three of those parks and then some. So you could, a week is not long enough if you plan on going through all of that. 2 weeks may be kind of getting on the edge of it, but if you're the more people with you, the more time it's going to take. If it's two of you, okay, no problem. If it's three of you, meh. But if it's four of you or more, you might have issues. All right. Okay, I don't get it. Prices keep going up. You're right, boss. Bust those walls down. That's exact. I had to repeat that, by the way. New oil equals water rights. First of all, Joshua Felder, again, I agree with you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, see, you've heard of air rights, water rights, underground rights. You know who does that? Just saying. So I'm very happy to see he's talking about water rights. That's why I talk about intellectual properties, ownership, because that's where this goes right now. So what's happening is underneath everything is the same thing. Every wealthy person is positioning themselves where they start having trademarks, copyrights, water rights, oil rights. They're trying to scarf up and chop up everything that they can put where they control it. That's why the music business masters, right? Because then you can control a lot of things. TV, the same thing. They control who controls the show, who controls the movie. Same thing. The movies, who controls the franchise? When you have a hit and now you want to make number two, number three, number four. Who controls that? Ownership. That's what the wealthy's going for now. Before it was just, okay, a little stocks, a little business, a little vanity here and there. No, these guys are trying to find any intellectual property they can get their hands on. Anything they can get their hands on. Water aquifer, I got to buy it. That's what these guys are out here doing. So you need to do it as well. I know. Once again, the white guys. Just saying. I had to, Vanessa. I had to. Oh, well, Bob, that's a big undertaking. Sounds amazing. Biznessa, actually, That's what makes this so cool. There's so many people doing things that the big boys that do gatekeepers, they just go, "Ah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that." Meanwhile, they're shooing away future stars. They won't let them in the industry. They're saying, it's not good enough. It's not shot on this film. It's not that good. You don't have the closed caption. Sorry, you can't play with us. You can't play with me. I'm Amazon. You can't play. You don't have the closed caption. You didn't run it off in the Res 422 and all this BS. They're like, I'm sorry, we can't help you. It can't help you. Sorry about that. You can't be on our platform. We need this 4K. It's got to be 4K for us. Sorry. Yeah, it's nice what you got, but you don't have it in 4K. You can't be on our platform, therefore you can't make money. Gatekeeping. And then, the guy that they don't want to come out of retirement has figured out something that's going to blow this whole thing to I'm excited. You know what I did even? I even put it into AI. I told you guys this all week. I put into AI my plan. And it says, oh, this is a game changer. You're going to change the industries. Notice with the nest plural, industries. I love kicking ass and taping names because I told you guys they always mess up. See, that's the thing. They always mess up because they always got to be gatekeepers. That means there's talent left on the sidelines. And it's up to you to curate the talent. And I can curate talent like no other. So therefore, it's going down, ladies and gentlemen, and they can't stop me. Oh, but like I told you guys on Wednesday, we have other gatekeepers in place. So the guys that said tens of thousands of dollars at the NAB show, we talked. I told you guys on Wednesday and Monday, they said the wrong words. When I said I needed a little customization to make it mine and do some things, because I'm doing some things. Oh, sorry, son. You gotta pay extra. Dude, I'm giving you tens of thousands of dollars and I gotta pay extra? Seriously? For some software. And you don't want to customize it for me? That means you must not be making it. So, that means I need to look elsewhere. So I look elsewhere. And the next thing you know, it drops. Next thing you know, it ain't tens of thousands. It's 5, 6, 7,000. So I start talking with those guys. And I told you guys on Wednesday and Monday, as soon as somebody says, I pay them for software, they're not going to do customization, I'm thinking, why? I'm paying you money. You're supposed to do customization. Nope, they said the same thing. I'm sorry, we're going to have to charge you, 12, 13,000 now for your customizations. I'm like, oh man, come on. You can't be serious about this. You're charging me double what you said you were going to charge me? It's another set of gatekeepers. I said, oh, you done messed up. You done said the customization thing. I think I'm going to look elsewhere. So then the unthinkable happened. I said, I was just talking about AI last week on a live stream. You know what I've never done? Let me go put in on AI exactly what I want to do and actually ask them to build me a site that looks like this and everything that I want to do. The thing came back and it said the unthinkable. No problem, E. Here you go with the coding and everything. And here's how you can set it up. And I'm like, this did not happen. And I told you on Wednesday night, I had to have a little fun because I wanted to make a certain dashboard because I wanted people who's going to be in this, I wanted them to have a dashboard so they can see in real time how much money they make, which by the way, is going to be an industry upheaval because people don't get paid monthly in what I'm talking about, and they get paid quarterly, and they don't know the amount they're going to get paid because it's like an opaque situation. They don't tell people anything, the expenses, how much anything is. I'm running a dashboard that gives them how much they're making that day. Every time they log in, they can see how much they're making. That's right. And I already have their packages already wrapped. So I can actually help them get what they need to do. And then I'm getting points every damn time. So I built an ecosystem. They actually created the ecosystem on one front for me. It created the whole, this took me a while because I'm using the free version. By the way, I got to tell everybody, this is like my own little pet peeve because I hear people like right now, I could have paid 12 to 20,000. I could have paid, well, 12,000 after all these guys that said they'd do it for 5 or 6 ends up being 12,000 with customizations. Okay, whatever. Now I go to AI, I'm using the free version, and the free version gives me the whole code, all the coding to set it up with instructions. So then I told you on Wednesday, some of you weren't here since it's story night. So what I did was I sent the latest guys, not the 12 guys, but the $20,000 guys. They called me today out of the blue. I haven't talked to them. We were supposed to have a meeting on the 6th of the month. They didn't call me. I didn't care because I told them, you keep saying customization. When I'm giving you this kind of money, it should automatically be no problem with customization. You keep saying the wrong words. So I said, I can't, you triggered the wrong words. I can't do business. So I didn't do anything. All of a sudden today, I get a phone call. Hey, Eric, we want you to see the back end. I said, it's kind of funny. I was asking you guys for the back end 2 weeks ago. Now you want to do the back end? I said, listen, here's the thing. When my boy that you guys have said customization like 3 or 4 times after I'm going to give you guys like 20 G's, I said, you said the wrong words. That's not going to happen. We're not going to do business. And the guy said, I said, here's why. Because I'm giving you this money, customization, not working for me. He goes, okay, but Eric, you wanted to see the demo on the back end and all that stuff. Why don't we just schedule something for Monday? I said, yeah, but you understand, we're not going to do anything. So now on Monday, I'm actually going to see their back office, but I already kind of saw it at the NAB, but I didn't really see it, but I was asking to see it 3 weeks ago. And it just goes to show you, somebody has a booth that they paid probably $10,000 to $15,000 for. How do you have a platform or selling a platform and you don't have a demo? And quite frankly, I've ran into 3, 4, 5 companies that don't have a demo. And I'm like, in fact, I started asking these guys, okay, where's your stuff at? You're selling this stuff. Didn't you create your own business model so you can actually make money? Where's yours at? Oh, Abba, Uba, Abba. I'm like, hey, see, you're saying the wrong answers. You're saying the wrong answers. You remind me of the picks and shovels and axe guys when the gold rush was going on. You're just sitting around selling shit. You ain't doing shit. So anyhow, we have to call it real. When you start talking about taking money from somebody, I have to express my reality. And that's how I have to express it. So that's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, AI is your friend. Tomorrow, Larry's in the house. Another investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being in the house. And everybody who's here, make sure you smash that like button on the way in and out. And by the way, we do have memberships now. You might want to become a member because in about 3 weeks, I thought I could get it all together, but I can't because I was going to pay somebody to build this stuff for me. Then AI happened just 2 days or 3 days ago. Can't remember exactly. when the adventure began. And I said, no way, this better not happen. And it kept going and going and going for free. I used a free AI on Chrome, which I guess is Google. But either way, that's what I use. And it literally gave me codes and instructions on what to do. And since I am kind of a computer guy, haven't really been into it, I've been just paying somebody else if I ever wanted to really do something. But now I said, you know what? If we're talking about something that I can save tens of thousands of dollars on, I'll do it for free. So that means any other money spent, I could use that, because there's going to be a day when I'm going to need that extra tens of thousands of dollars. So why give it away when I can just do it for free, even though it might take me. And by the way, just so everybody understands, I'm going to give a clue right now. AI on Chrome, Copilot. What other AI did I use? There's another one somewhere. Anyhow, there's 3 of them I use. Free versions, where you can just tap stuff in. It all said the same thing. It said you should start this in January or February, and here's why. And I can't disagree with the logic or the sense that it made. All 3 said the same thing in a different way. Not exactly, but one said you should start after the year, after Christmas and New Year's, because people are doing stuff. The other one said, well, this is why you don't do it in summer. This is why you don't do it in the fall. This is why you don't do it during Christmas. So you should do it the first quarter of the following year. All 3 were different, but they gave the same answer generally. Some was more specific than others, but it still came up with the first quarter, the first month, or second month of the year, all of them. So that's when I said, why am I going to buck what I should be doing? Because it's common sense. They gave out why it should happen, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I'm sitting there like, well then, even if it takes me 5 or 6 months, it's for free, so who cares? And if I would have bought from those guys, I would have been probably up and operational in about 2 months or less, which would have not been the ideal scenario under any stretch of the imagination. Once they explained why you shouldn't do it at this time, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So again, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you go. Just make sure, rock the golem. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. So many people believe in selling ideas over practical example. Exactly. And that's how you do it. Remember, what's the stock market these days? Remember, well, some people may not remember. 20, 30 years ago, stocks were based on what your financial sheets look like. You would say, okay, the company made, I'll use today's number, $2.9 billion this year. Then it would equate to a value that you would assess their stock to be. They got $2.9 billion profit, and then it's based on how many shares outstanding, so their share price is valued at a certain price. So then you would be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I got their share price at $3. But now it should be worth about $25. Right. You should invest in this company. That made sense. What we live in right now is exactly what Rock the Golem's talking about. And again, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream Golem, because that is the thing of the day. This is the topic of the night. Ideas. So now all they have to do is, I got a great AI idea. All of a sudden, I'm going to bring an IPO to the stock market. And people will buy the stock even though the company is losing money, has not made a dime. How many companies have not made a dime, but yet they're on the stock market, and they're not just $2, $1 stocks, they're $200 stocks. And they're still losing money. Remember Airbnb? Remember Tesla? This is craziness right now. All they had to do was say, oh, I'm going to have an EV. Next thing you know, all these companies are IPOing, coming out there getting stocks. And they haven't even made a dime. Ideas is working. And again, remember about investing when ChatGPT hasn't made a dime, but yet people are giving them hundreds of millions of dollars? They don't even make any money. But that's what's happening. We turned into this up and coming, the best deal thingy, the shiny thing that's coming out. We're going to invest in this idea, not an actual thing. They're investing in the idea of it. And that's why the value is out there for a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, and the values are out there for everybody. Because people now don't have any sense of you could not make any money with a corporation, but yet still somebody's going to give you money because you said, I'm going to do an IPO 5 years from now. And I have this great idea. It's insanity and it's happening. And that's why there's going to be a fall from grace one of these days. EV Place, another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline. But first, I must thank you for being a member of the channel, which I humbly appreciate. And he says, good evening, SSN. Happy Friday. I've told you, Eric, AI is a great tool. If we're speaking about programming, all you need is creativity. Tell me about it. Exactly. And oh, by the way, I got to give you guys the thing. If you're a member of the channel, please be, if you're not a member of the channel, please become a member of the channel. We're going to be talking some other stuff because I always like to try to get some other fellows along with me. Either way, it's going down. Speaking of this, one of the guys that tried to charge me double what they were going to do based on these customizations, I sent him the code. I said, hey, man, I teased him. I told you guys this on Monday and Wednesday, some of you. I said, hey, I sent him a code and my dashboard. I sent him what AI did for the dashboard. I sent him that picture and then I sent him the code. The guy sends it back to me and he says something to the effect of, Eric, you know, AI isn't always right. And I started laughing. And so I sent him back a message. I said, you know, it's a funny you said that because that picture I sent you, that's what AI generated from the code that I'm including right now. From that code I'm including. Put it in your sandbox. Good try, though. Nice try. I started laughing. I did that to two of them. I sent two of the guys that were both in the 5 to 57, 53, 5,500 range. And both of them did the same thing. It ended up costing me double what they said was going to be the prices. So I sent both of them. I had to have a little fun because all these guys are doing the same thing. And then when I realized, I was like, and it has instructions. I was like, this is insane. Step-by-step instructions. What to do. One started saying, I went a little bit different route. I wanted to test and see what happened if I used something else. And that one started going, oh, you need to get this server right here. You need to get this server right here. I was like, hold up. But what they wanted me to get was not unreasonable. I was going to still pay less than what these guys are charging me. So I was like, that's not unreasonable. So it was cool. But he brings his tagline, and I'll say again, even though I said it once, good evening, SSN. Happy Friday. I've told you, Eric, AI is a great tool if we're speaking about programming. All you need is creativity. Exactly. I would have never believed it. Any news from Larimar? No. Larimar is still going with they're going to deliver December 2026. They had a beautiful picture today. Talk about one of them selling pictures. I like this picture. Let me show you guys. This is cool. This picture was beautiful. Is beautiful. The picture's beautiful. It was stunning. They're going for this old school. Yeah, whoever's doing their production team is pretty slick right now. Let's see if I can find something with them. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna have it because it wasn't. Oh yeah, we have it. Hold on, let me see. Oh, this isn't it. Oh, this is it. Here we go. This is a video they came out with, making it look like it's a 1950s thing, black and white, kind of slick. I'll give them credit. All right, kind of slick. Right? Yeah, there you go. There you go. This is the money shot right there. That was the money shot. Yeah, that's the money shot at the end. Let me see if I can get it though. And I'll show you that picture because this was beautiful. I don't think it. It might look like that. I can't tell if the guy actually put it together or not. But there's one picture here that I wasn't a fan of. I'll show you guys what it is right here. See this right here? This right here means there's a wall or separation or something. Now, they're supposed to be doing panel building. If you're doing panel building, when they poured the concrete, they were supposed to have walls downstairs. So when you pour up top, it was supposed to form in the walls and everything, and you just keep going. That's what makes it fast. The fact that they're doing this, that's a whole different thing. That's like taking sweet time to put, now you're putting up walls or whatever this is going to be. It looks like sliders to me, but I can't really tell what this is. But you're putting in interior sliders or maybe not sliders because I don't know what this is. But they got welding at the bottom. And all these things should have been dropped. So you would have had your walls, everything would have been done. You move on. You don't go doing this kind of stuff. So there's no way they're going to be done in 7 months. But the point is, here, let's get to this picture so I can show you this full. This picture is it's a postcard, really. I think it's altered. Oh, doggone it! I can't show you. I can't show you because it's marked. Yeah, I can't show you, but it's beautiful. That picture was beautiful. That's a poster. I'm pretty sure they're going to use that in some of their promotions. All right, let's go. The view will be incredible. You'll have a smile on your face once you walk into the new apartment. The view will be incredible. Yes, that's for sure. I don't think you need AC on the 12th floor. Yes, you will. Just open the windows. No, hey, it would be nice, but you forget one thing. Remember what happens after May? You're going to be there right now. In a week, you're going to be there. And the weather starts getting humid. So even if you're going to be on the 12th floor, it's going to be humid. But it would be nice if you did not have to use AC. But remember, you're not in the Bay Area of San Francisco. You're not in Southern California. You're not getting the ocean breezes and stuff like that. You're getting straight on 80% humidity coming up shortly. So that's my only little pet peeve. Well, not really pet peeve. You know where you're at, so you can't be mad. You know, May after June, July, August, September, high humidity. You know there's going to be rainy season after that. And then you know it's going to be very nice the end of December till March 15th, March 30th for sure. Generally, not a lot of rain, best weather, low humidity. And then after that, all bets are off. But the view will be spectacular for some of us. Just saying. Some of us, the view will be spectacular. All the people who don't have any view, it won't be spectacular. But it's still going to be spectacular just walking around. Joshua Felder, AI will definitely create you a back end. I use Claude and anti-gravity. Yeah, I just logged into Claude just today because I was just curious because Claude seems to be off the charts. I don't know how to determine if one's better than another, but yeah, they already created the back end for me. It created everything I wanted. It gave me everything. All these guys are talking about customization. It gave me how to do the front end website, the back end, and an app. Which, by the way, EV Place, I will talk to you about an app. So, but it gave me everything. I was sitting there in disbelief. I said, "You got to be kidding me right now." I said, "Okay, there's some little intricacies, I'm sure, but I'm thinking this might work out perfect." All right. So, yes, Joshua Felder, I agree with you 100. That's the other one, Rock the Golem, Gemini. That's what I'm thinking of. That was the third one. Gemini. Thank you so much. His choice for website, etc. Gemini, that's the one. All right. So actually, I created code in all three because I was writing it and going with it. So then I kept everything that I what they responded with in different folders. So then I can plug it into another one. The other one says, oh, this is pretty good. Here's how you can increase it a little better on what my platform is. But then when I went to coding, I did some coding in one, dropped a code in another, and the other one says, oh yeah, this is great. You want to speed up the pages and do this and that? You might want to do this, this, and that. I'm like, well, okay, if you're talking about this, let's get on with it. So I did drop it from Chrome into, it was not Copilot because I pay for Copilot. So it had to either be Gemini, that's the third one, Gemini, and the one that's Microsoft. Which, oh, check this out. I was using Microsoft Chat. They have Chat before it goes to Copilot, right? I use that for another thing that has to do with, I'm going to be a literary giant. I doubtful. But they created a book for me. I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. Based on another program that I was doing that had to do with the music event. And because the music event has certain names, AI comes up with, because of those names you're using, you actually have a game, a book, and do you want me to write you the book for the game that ties in with your show? Yes. Seriously, I gotta see this. Well, here's the code of what, now, this is so sick. Here's the code from the game, but not code as in coding like programming. It just says things like this era, and then it says functionality, and then it says some other things, and then it has like 4 descriptions of these things, and then it has a name for it. That's it. And then it starts at number 1, and it says we can go up to 20,000. So I'm like, man, what kind of game is this? What the heck is this stuff? So after I start copying it, just because it said, hey, you might want to copy this stuff, so I just copied it. So then eventually I got around to, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, something like that. And I was like, you know what? What is this even for? They said it's like has to do with some game. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it into AI and see what actually happens. I put it in AI and it said, this is the book that we're going to make. It's sci-fi based on what you just put in here. I said, you got to be kidding me. It did say a book. I think I said this is supposed to be a book or something. And it said, yes. Do you want me to write this sci-fi Marvel comic type of thing? I was like, hold on. This thing just said Marvel? What the heck? Marvel-esque type stuff. I was like, oh my God. Marvel Universe type stuff is what it said on AI. Of course you got my attention then. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Hell yes, let's go. This thing started writing and it said, oh, you know what? With what you've sent me, you can make 3 different books. So do you want to start with book number 1? Yes. Book 1, chapter 1. Book 2, chapter 2. Book 3. It does the whole damn story. What pops up though, it says, it gives you a choice. Do you want to go in this direction or do you want to go with this direction? So I pick the direction it goes, and so the story goes according to what you pick. It's making books for me. It's on book 3 right now. Or shall I say, we are on book 3. It's already done the first 2 books. The manuscript is done. AI, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy. off of a live music TV show competition using the name. Off of that, they've made a book and a game. A video game, by the way, not just some any old game, video game. And they gave the coding and everything. I was like, this can't be real right now. A lot of people are about to lose their jobs. And a lot of people are about to get screwed. Because now you're going to control your own IP. Great decision, Eric. If you do it yourself, you have full control over your asset. There we go, EV Place. He's got it right on the head. The ownership, ladies and gentlemen, because now you have the ownership, what now means if somebody wants to advertise or do anything on your platform, you keep 100%. I don't have to F around with Google or Instagram or Facebook or anybody else. You get 100%. That's why we had that ownership video about 3 weeks ago, because I was already doing this other stuff. But that's why I started talking about ownership, because that's where this has to go. All the rich guys are buying up assets. They're buying up stuff. They're just trying to get as many of it, get as much of it as they can. You have to do the same thing. And that's exactly right, EV Place. And that's one of the things about the guys. The guys that's going to charge me like 10 to 20 G's. Well, actually, it was 20 G's for what I wanted to do. I would not own the source code. I was like, have you lost your freaking ever loving the second tier guys, the lower guys? One guy says, oh no, you don't have it until you pay us for a year long worth of whatever. I'm like, nah, I don't trust you. And then the other guy, yeah. You have your source code, got all your stuff. But still, they both said, oh, yeah, it was 55, 57, whatever. No, it's 12, 13 G's now because of what you want to do. I said, okay, keep playing. But he's got it exactly right. You got to control the assets, ladies and gentlemen. It will create YouTube thumbnails using Nano Banana and Google Anti-Gravity. Yes, I created some thumbnails that you guys will see using Gemini, I believe. And they use Nano Banana. I think it was Gemini, or was it Chrome? I can't remember. But either way, one of them uses it. And those ones look like ordinary, just like everybody else's kind of thumbnails. Yeah. So I just went back like the last live ones. I just said, man, let me just make my own live ones that I always use, because at least people know I'm different. They know it's me. The other ones look like other people. Plus, it mirrored me sometimes. Sometimes it was spot on. Other times it wasn't. But either way, it wasn't the same. So, but you're right. They do create YouTube. They create everything. The Oh, by the way, I might as well just tell you guys, I'll be creating a production company as well because of this. Actually, it's an ecosystem. If you're going to have intellectual properties that your own, then you're going to have other people's. Then you might as well have a distribution outlet for both, which helping other people, you get points. So it's an ecosystem. So you're going to have that going. So it created my whole production company. I got a name. Next thing I know, it spews out. Here's all the platforms for your logo and everything. And they created a logo for me. I was like, this can't be happening right now. This is happening in less than 2 minutes. I was like, this is outrageous. So the thing is, if you're doing business, then you have an upper hand. If you're used to doing business, because you're going to be more concise, which is what you need to be. You're not going to waste time asking frivolous questions. You're going to ask it you're going to write the paragraph, write sentences all in one, and be like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm trying to get to. What do you think is how I started off? And generally it'll start spewing out. Did you think about this, or what do you think about any of these choices? Do you want me to proceed? That's the funny thing about AI. It prompts you once they realize what you're trying to do, then it's like, hey, do you know that you should maybe do this? Next thing you know, it's like, that's a damn good idea. Implement it. But anyhow, you're right. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be on here too long. It's Friday night. It's story night. I went on story night way too long. Economy. because we have mushrooms. We talked about, oh, geez, ice cream. This is crazy. Another ice cream with potential metal contamination. Oh, yo. All right. Vicky Moeles, 937-863-DK. I'm welcome to the other platforms. Thank you so much for being in the house. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys hit the hearts, the check boxes, no matter where you're watching from. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. It will create, let me go see what this is about. Joshua, I've created a whole database system using Google Anti-Gravity. It's truly amazing. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm using Google free version, and it's giving me the labels, where to put everything in the database step by step. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know who Anti-Gravity is, but if that's a paid version, then that's probably even off the charts, because on the free version, they don't allow you, they won't give you PDFs and docs, a Word. So that means I have to copy and take in a little bit extra time, or they'll do Google Sheets, but that's kind of funky. I don't really like Google Sheets. That's like an Excel sheet. But yeah, if I paid, which I almost started today, I said, you know what? I have Copilot. So I could actually, and Copilot will give me PDFs and docs. So that way I don't even have to copy it, and I could get on with the program faster. But that's just it. So it's truly amazing. Yeah, I know, but I'm torn, quite frankly, because I don't need a speed race. If I had the time, if this was, let's say, December, then I probably would pay. But knowing I'm not going to even do anything until January of next year, I'll put it this way: December of this year, which is 7 months away, is when I'll actually, it should be up on Apple and Google Play, Apple Google Play Store, and around, and I'll start advertising things like that. But I'm gonna release it just like all the things said in January. So I have so much time. So that's why I don't really care, because when I do it, I want to tell everybody who's still sitting on the sidelines about AI that I made this with the free version of AI. That's what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm doing it, until I get tired. To create videos or pictures, it's good to set up an AI ecosystem like Confi AI on your personal PC so you can generate as many pictures as you want. Okay, I got to write this down. I don't know what Confi is, but we're about to. This is why you should have your pen, pads, and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. What was that? Confi. Confi AI on your personal computer. Okay. Let's see. Confi. This man's giving out gems. If whoever wants to be in AI, you guys better pay attention right now. So you can generate as many pictures as you want. Is that what Confi does? Paid version is crazy, Eric. We're talking about the same thing. I know. I know. This is the funny part. What you're talking about with the paid version goes further. So actually, I know what happened with the paid. That's why I want to use the free, because I want to show everybody after I do it. I want to say I used the free version. Yes, it took me time. Yes, you could time out if you stayed in there 12 to 14 hours or something. And then in fact, on my one of them, oh, the free version of Copilot. It's not actually, I guess it's free. It's only because I pay Microsoft. So they give you Copilot, but it's not the paid version now that I'm thinking about it, because I only get every Friday it renews, because I actually used up the whole week. They have so many prompts, I guess, you can use per week. Those prompts was at least 14 to 15 hours. I was playing around. So it was 14 to 15 hours before I got into this programming. It was just setting up what I was going to do with my live show. And it took 14 hours before it said, oh, went to your maximum allotted time, and it resets every Friday. I was like, that's different. It's still, again, since I pay for Microsoft, I get Copilot. So I don't think I can deem that, even though it's not for AI. I'm probably gonna have to look into it because I'd rather use Copilot, but Copilot also gives me PDFs, docs, which comes in handy. So I can just open them up and save them versus having to save, put them in something and all that. So it's very interesting. Okay, Confi. But yeah, man, I can only imagine it's got to be off the charts because the free version, geez, if they added the other stuff like Copilot where you can actually, I'm pretty sure the paid versions have, you can save, you can do videos, you can do all that stuff. Gemini will generate PDF if you push it to it. Yeah, Gemini acts funny with the PDF. Some it'll say we can't do a PDF, and then I went, well, you did it before, so I know you can do it again or something like this. So please do it for this. Then it came back, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Then I said, wait a minute. And I posted a PDF and I said, I think you made this PDF before. Then all of a sudden it said, okay, I'll download the PDF for you. That's the free version, by the way. If it was Gemini, I think it was, because the Gemini I haven't used in a while. I mean, in the last 4 or 5 days, which actually I do like it. Actually, I do like the free version too. It's pretty cool. Thank you, EV Place, for the plug. Exactly. Thank you so much for the plug. I wrote it down. Eric, you need decent graphic card to set up AI ecosystem, but you can adjust it to your needs and it will be free forever. Thank you. Well, if you have any more gems while people are here listening on a Friday night with nothing else to do, let's go. I'd love to hear it. And by the way, EV Place does programming, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua, you're welcome. Exactly. Thank you so much for that info. That's invaluable, EV Place. So everybody, we're talking about once, look, if they're making books for me, they're making video games for me, they're making my show even better than I even envisioned. They're making my platform that I'm going to be doing better than I ever envisioned. I'm sitting there like in disbelief because all the resources they're putting in, man, it's awesome what AI is doing. So I'm going to end this tonight. My voice is getting a little hoarse and I'm getting a little hungry. So I got to get something to eat. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. This has been a great conversation. But AI is the way to go. If even, the thing about AI is everybody, you no longer have an excuse. If you are ever, you can't no longer say, oh, I thought of that. There's none of that. You don't get to say that no more. You have AI now. You think of something, you just go to AI and said, hey, I was thinking about this. AI will prompt you after that. Here's my idea. And then you better be going down to trademark or copyright or whatever you need to do. And they'll actually diagram it. They'll fix everything for you. Even a free version will. Except for, depends on pictures, and it depends. But the point is, even just a free version, you can test it out. The paid version obviously goes way further. But the point is, there's no excuse out here. I don't want to hear nobody in this era walk up to me and go, oh man, I thought about that, but I just couldn't do it. No, not going to work no more. That used to work back in the day because you had to, go send it to some guys, investors that would, what was that thing called where the guy that was rolling the stone down and they, any new ideas that they would try to make you get a trademark or no, it wasn't copyright or trademark. I can't remember what it was. But anyhow, then they would steal your idea, just like stealing movies, stealing books, stealing everybody's intellectual property stuff when they submit it. And next thing you know, 5 years later, wait a minute. I wrote about that TV show. I got the script right here. They're doing the same stuff I'm doing. All that crap. I don't want to hear it. You have no reason that you can't do all your ideas now. The cream always rises to the top. So oftentimes, first one in reaps the benefits. AI is going super fast. I'm learning so much stuff. Exactly, man. It's crazy. Eric, AI is making full 3D textured models from a flat picture. I know. I know. I actually saw oh, there's somebody that was doing that 3D textured model stuff. It was like an ad or something. I'm looking at that like, are you kidding me right now? I can list it right away as an asset for other game creators or metaverse. Oh my. Wow. 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 And he hit it right on the head. It's an asset. That's what AI said when they said, "Hey, you got this book and a game from your TV show and it ties in and now you have a whole I can't remember the wording they used, but now they have a whole IP intellectual class of product just from this one thing we started at and guess what? It says there's 5. It gave me 3. They said there's, well, 2 actually, because I was working on one already. So there's 2 more. And they said, do you want to work on this first, the book and the game? So I said, I'll do the book and the game. The other 2 we'll deal with later. I don't remember what the other 2 was. But they came up with 5 different assets and intellectual properties. And they are for media. And you love media because that's where the money is, especially if you have intellectual properties, asset class, and therefore it goes through you and you control it. All right. So that's how it works. But he's exactly right. I love this right here. I love this. I saw that exactly. Somebody entered a film, a picture of, they put a film in or video in, and they made people in the video the claymation, and it resembles the people that was on the film. And then it created its own story from the people on the film that they put in. And I was like, this can't be happening right now. This is awesome. I was like, so anybody can do anything. And this is why the rich guys are trying to figure out how they can corral all this because everybody's going to have their own IP. See, these guys can't gatekeep. The only thing they can gatekeep is outlets. And once they can't gatekeep the outlets, game over. That's how it works. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this up tonight. I get excited when I talk about these things because you guys, we all have it. The OCs, the ordinary citizens, you guys, you can do this. You can all do this. If you ever wanted to be write a book, you can do it. You ever want to make a movie, you can do it. Sitting at your house. I mean, you can create actors out of AI, which is going to, the acting business is almost done. Seriously. I mean, they can create a whole full-length feature movie based on AIs doing it. I saw 3 videos that I could not even tell it was AI. That they were movies. Actually, they weren't movies. They were trailers. And I was like, you can't, this is sick. 2-minute trailers look just like real people. The only reason you could tell occasionally it might be was just because of the way the background kind of was weird. But for the most part, that stuff looks straight up just like it was a human being, which is scary because now your name, image, and likeness can be used and made to look like you even more and more as each year goes by. And now people will be able to say that that was you when it wasn't you. That's the scary part. You're going to have devils out there. So it's going to get crazy. Confi is crazy. Some people are using it with Herms. We'll look into this more. Thanks, every EV place. Was that Confi AI? Hold on, I better go check this while you're on. Let me go check this. Confi AI. Oh, it's comfy. Wait, is it? Oh, it's comfy. Not Confi, it's comfy. So that's what he was saying. It's comfy AI. There is a comfy AI, apparently. Comfy. Wait, what's this? Are we talking? Is this comfy.org? Okay, I need clarification, please. Hopefully, EV Place, you're still here. I need clarification. Is it comfy, but AI, or what did I put? Comfy AI. Which one? Confi. Yeah, let me know which one. I can create your 3D statue so you can add it to the SSN store or print it out on a 3D printer. Oh, oh, I love that. I love that. I got to see the statue. Let's see it. Let's see the 3D statue. Or that is wild. That is wild. I see you've been busy. Anthony Forrester, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Let's go, Larimar. Another Larimar investors in the house. Welcome again. Very happy to see you. Larimar, as I always said, it will be built. They're finally acting. They got some mojo going. They got some mojo. I guess that $15 million credit, that line of credit, and that $1.5 million loan they got mojo. Which is, I'm happy for everybody because it almost looked like it was DOA at one point. These guys weren't moving fast. Still haven't. I mean, they're late as we speak, but I'm happy for everybody involved. And just so you know, everybody who's a Larimar owner, if you stop paying, you still own the property. What they're doing is they are adding on a late fee. But the cool part, if you end up buying it, they just waive the late fee. So I'm one of those that didn't pay. I just recently found out because I was going to sell the unit. Me and the guy couldn't come to the agreement because they're missing some payments I made. So I didn't have the paperwork because I haven't been home in 7 months. And so I don't have the paperwork on me. So he didn't want to buy it from me for the price. Because I said, once I get the receipts, they're missing like 7 G's, 8 G's. So he only wanted to pay that amount. Then, because of my NAB visit to that NAB Las Vegas, because of that, then it all changed because I was like, hold on. It looks like I'm going to have a travel thing going on. I'm going to put back up the SSN Lifestyle, travel club, memberships, and all this. So that I was like, well, then I'm going to keep it. There's going to be 15 lucky people that could actually, it's going to be clearly, it's going to be close to timeshare-esque, but I'm not going to be like a timeshare, but people are still going to have a week, and they're only going to pay like $500 a year. That's it. And you got your 1 week during certain times of the year, depending on what you decide to buy. Obviously, Christmas and New Year's is going to cost more. But it is not going to be 20, 30, 50, 100,000, or even 10,000. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to make it a little club. So, and let's just face facts for just everybody's fully transparent in case anybody ever wants to know, because this is going to come out in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So, and I'm only doing 15 weeks because only 15 weeks of the year is going to be used. And the rest of the year, I might hang out or we might rent it out, but that has nothing to do with you, but it has to do with the corporation itself. We just make a little bit extra money, and that leaves open a lot of prime time dates are going to be available. January is 4 weeks, February is 4 weeks, March is 4 weeks. Those are the prime time. So conceivably, everybody wants to go January, February, and March, which is prime time weather. So, doing all that kind of thing. So then the rest of the year would be rentals, so the corporation makes money. Win-win. And then, of course, we can always have bonus time, as they say, things of this nature, where since you're an owner, you can rent for half the price of what everybody else rents it for, stuff like that. Just cool stuff. So people aren't really having to spend that much money, but yet they're going to be sitting there going, I got ocean view, 2-bedroom. I'm hanging at on the 11th floor. All right, let's go. Larimar's right. And he's right. That new picture is off the chart. Confi AI. Sorry, my mistake. It's an ecosystem, and then you add plugins. Okay, so Confi AI. I don't have Confi though. It doesn't even come up. It says Comfy Air. I mean Comfy AI, but not Confi AI. Is this an app or? Okay, hold on. There's something here. Lycos AI says Confi Manger install. What is this? Top AI tools. Okay, so what is this exactly? This says Lizer. An AI agent platform, rapid deployment agents in banking, insurance, HR. Blah, blah, blah. No, this is not Confi though. This says Lycos AI Confi AI. I don't know. You're gonna have to send me an email or something, cause Confi AI doesn't come up. At least not on my computer. All right. Well, we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's see. Send me your picture, Eric. What picture? All right. Biznessa. Yep. AI will be replacing actors, musicians, etc. Look out, entertainment biz. Exactly. This is crazy. Anthony Forrest, nice. He's talking about comfy UI. Okay. Yeah, we did see comfy. I see comfy. I get comfy. Is it comfy.org? It says download. There's extensions that you're talking about. Professional control of visual AI. Run your first. Are you serious right now? Oh my, they got names. HP, Lucid, Netflix, Nike, Tencent. They're saying these are what these guys are using. Wow. Okay. There's people using this. What is this? Discover the world's top creators and workflows. Grok image edit. Yeah, I don't see anything here. What's this? Oh, this is cute. What's this? Okay. So what? Go from one to the other. Oh, nice. Black and white. Yeah, nice. Okay, it says get free credits, download workflow. What do they mean by this? Oh, using the Grok model. Okay, they got all kind of different things going on here. Apply to join. Oh, this is cute. Okay, I'm seeing. Okay, this is weird. Oh, there goes that 3D image stuff. I see right now. This girl's riding on a horse, and it changes it into like a model, a clay model or something. That's trippy. That's pretty cool. Give it credit. Give it credit. Okay, I see what you're working with out here. I see where we're going with this. This is awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think. AI seems to be the you know what, SHIT for the PG rated. Yes. Okay, so I found it. This is crazy right now. It looked like a 3D model of the girl riding the horse. That's trippy. They are still free add-ons, plugs. What? Oh man, now he's gonna make me play with Confi. Jeez, are we serious right now? Confi, are you serious? So it's not conf, it's com, C-O-M. FYAI for everybody listening and watching on the podcast networks. So there it is. Comfy. No. Yeah. Comfy AI. I got it. Exactly. Comfy. Yeah, this is interesting here. Wow. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh, this is different. I like it. So this is where everybody's getting some of this stuff. I love it. This is funny. This is awesome, though. This is awesome. This is where it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Better get in. Better learn while you can because people are way ahead. And they're way ahead of me, too. And EV Place is way ahead of all of us, probably. This is what he does. He programs. He does things. So, programmers, once again, the geeks win. Just saying. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation tonight. Thank you so much for being here. And by the way, ownership is going to be key moving forward. It's not like before where you go, I'm going to have a business. I'm going to do this. Now you have to have full ownership. Everything you do, you should consider that's going to be intellectual properties, copyright, trademarked. You're going to do it. All right? Anything that you create, you're going to have to protect it because you never know what's going to happen down the line. AI is crazy. This could go in left field, right field, any field. And you never know what the next asset class because of this becomes. And I have a feeling it's going to be based on ownership. And you're going to have to pay people to use stuff just how we're doing AI right now. If you want to use AI at a better AI experience, you pay for it. So that's why there's a rush because it's just like when the social media, the search engines came out, when Yahoo came out, AOL was out, then it went Google showed up, and then finally Microsoft showed up, and it just basically got narrowed down to most people like use Chrome, I believe it is now. Microsoft, Yahoo's not even on the list anymore. Not the top 3 list anymore. I don't think. But at one time in the 90s, Yahoo was the dog, top dog. Then Chrome shows up and they take over with their new that advertising model that they did, moving people up if they paid for it and things of this nature. So, and then it became a better search engine, in my opinion. So that's where we're at right now. All these AIs are trying to position themselves so there's only going to be a few standing in the end. And then you're going to pay and they're going to monetize it. And so that's what's going to end up, I believe. So we're going to find out. But in the meantime, get your assets, ladies and gentlemen. And I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for your support over all these years. I got to give another shout out to Joshua Felder, who's still been here again, a loyal supporter of ours here. And I appreciate it greatly, man. Very happy for you that you did the damn thing back in 2020. Very happy that you did pull the trigger and was able to get that funding situation as well, if I recall. That's pretty cool. So congratulations. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why right now you have the cheapest way possible. You got free AI out here. You got some that you can pay $20 a month for. And you still got some upgraded AI. You have it all over the place right now. All over. You can take advantage, whether you want to use the free one or not. Paying, yes, it'll be a lot faster, I have to admit. But either way, you're not left out. There's no gatekeeping on it. You can use it. They're all vying for your attention, vying for your business, so that you would know who they are in case they are the survivors of this AI race. So just keep that in mind. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have a great weekend. Be safe out here because you never know who's going through any stressful situations. You never know what somebody's going through, and you might be going through something. So either way, keep a level head, stay safe out here. And above all, make sure, no matter what you do, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.